I'm Chang, the current president of SAPA-GP and co-chair for this Philly Cell and Gene Therapy Conference. I think it is really, I'm really delighted to welcome both of you to come to this, our inaugural conference, and really appreciate your sponsorship as well. So yeah, so maybe each of you introduce yourself, and then I'll have a few questions for you. You go first.
Yeah, my name is David Chang. So I'm currently the WuXi Event Therapy CEO. So I'm stationed in the Philadelphia Navy Yard. So I'm really local here, only 20 miles away. So WuXi Event Therapy being actually founded about 16 years ago, right? We're starting with our testing business. Then about 8 years ago, we moving to the fully integrated the CTDMO business. So we're specializing in the cell and gene therapy. We call the fully integrated service from the testing, development, manufacturing, and also with the most recent merger acquisition of the really powerhouse of the bioreactor development research company, Oxygen. So we're adding the research arm into our service. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, hi, Chang. This is Angela Chen. I'm the China GM and also commercial head for Asia for WuXi Advanced Therapy Unit. Actually, luckily, I'm based in Shanghai, China, but due to the business expansion reason, I visit here in US, and very delighted to get this chance to join this wonderful meeting at Philly with the first very successful CGT-focused SAPA meeting. So glad to be here. Thank you.
And thank you. So we're so lucky to have you, actually. Okay, that's great. So I want to ask you, so what do you like about this meeting so far, and why you choose to attend this meeting and also sponsor us?
Me? Okay. Yeah, just to I've been gone through the whole session from yesterday and today. It's very, very inclusive, and also the depth of the technology that we share during this conference is wonderful. And also we see a lot of collaboration. We see people coming from academia, small industry, large industry, and also from the investment arm, and us, as well as those contract manufacturers like us, all being covered here within this area. And we enjoy the sessions, right? People discuss about the new technology breakthrough. People discuss about how we create IPOs, how we sponsor each other, and also how to support each other when there is a need of certain service. So that's really see the platform that we all enjoy. And wonderful meetings, wonderful network. And after 3 years, we will be able to see each other. This is extremely delighted to see everyone.
Okay, that's great.
I think probably for me, right? First of all, it's really the SAPA cell and gene therapy, very specific focus in the greater Philadelphia area, right? And we all know the greater Philadelphia area called the tri-state. That's the genesis of the cell therapy, the UPenn, right? So we are having this conference holding here, very specifically focused on cell gene therapy. That means a lot to me and many attendees. And beyond that, right, I can see another extremely exciting, interesting thing happening here is we have had both the global leader, predominantly, of course, our colleague and a friend from China, right, to come over here to join a lot of colleagues in the US here. So probably the second point I see this meeting is so useful, so meaningful. Probably the last but not the least, right, I see attendee not only for attendee from the academic, from the industry, but more importantly, even from our government official like a regulator. So it's an all-inclusive one in the best location we have here. That really is an outstanding event.
Okay, that's great. Actually, that is our vision, to bring the innovators, the business leaders together in this region, and then have this platform to have people from, like you said, academia, industry, service sectors, and also government policymakers to be here. I'm really glad you like that. Okay, so from your perspective, what do you think about for next few years, maybe like for example 5 years, what kind of technology you think the breakthrough you think will come, and also you think will impact the field of cell and gene therapy?
Me? Okay. Yeah, well, all of us had attend, Peter Mark's talk early this morning, and really, really inspired by him saying that CGT is now moving from the personalized medicine to individualized medicine. What does really mean that CGT is so close to the patient that we actually can deliver some cure which we never heard of, never imagined of before, that right to cure those patients, even though they are a very, very small sector of the patient, population, but it matters. Every single life matters, every single patient matters, but CGT is right at the hand of the tools that we can touch those patients. But thinking about 5 years ahead, or even the whole industry where we're going, I think that's a lot of us coming into this industry's purpose is save lives and to help all those customers, all those patients, despite their rare disease or cancer or those very other complicated disease. I think a CGT can bring those technology into a curable method and treat them. I think now what we expect in the 5 years is how to make sure we work together with industry, technology providers, as well as the regulatory officers to bring those, technology faster into the, approved drugs. So we're talking about how to reduce the costs, the production of the manufacturer, how to speed up all the regulatory process to get those, method into a really commercialized, treatment. For example, in ATU, in WuXi Advanced Therapy, we're recently promoted a technology to, produce the AAV called TESA. This is a very new technology that we don't use the plasmid anymore, and trying to boost up the high titer of the AAV, which will bring a new breakthrough into this industry, how we faster deliver all the gene therapy method to the industry. So hopefully in the 5-year time frame, we can see some drugs using that technology being approved.
Okay, great. David?
Maybe first I totally echo what I think Angela been saying here. The personalized, individualized cell gene therapy is one being heading for, right? I think on top of that, I've been in this cell and gene therapy field probably about 5 years. I just amazed to seeing the quick breakthrough in the biologic area, right? I never seen a discovery either in the cell or gene treatment part being quickly demonstrating either clinical efficacy with a very reasonable, acceptable the safety requirement, right? But what I'm seeing the challenging, yet biologic moving fast and furious than anybody expected, but enabling development manufacturing to making those products going through either translational into the clinics, then not to mention about later for the commercialization is a key currently bottleneck, right? Take for example, right? Yes, we all know oncology-related cell therapy CAR-T is proven, right? The 6 molecule already proven by FDA. But the uprising one is a truly, remember the cell therapy, originally called the regenerative medicine. Now the organ, tissue, coming back to play. Yes, 20 years ago, we have the tissue be coming up, but never become the mainstream. But now we have the chance to bring in artificial organ, right? You're talking about potentially liver, lung, right? It could come into play. And yes, I think in the laboratory, those things are happening. But the technology to make it go through the translational into the clinics is still a long way to go. So I think the next 4 or 5 years, I'm expecting a lot of enabling technology and also regulation will need to take in place. Okay. Right? And also for the commercialization, I think Angela mentioned about our current AAV and lenti. Yes, AAV is extremely powerful, capable workhorse to do the gene therapy, but the associated cost is also amazingly bad. And we need to actually make an AAV a much cheaper way, right? Otherwise, the great therapy cannot be widely, broadly accessible by the patient. It's still not good therapy. So I think those kind of enabling either the new therapeutic domain need to close to the translational part, but then for the effectiveness of the cost, effectiveness of the so-called consistent of the product through commercialization.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying those kind of enabling things were happening a lot in the past few
Okay,
years.
great. Okay, the last question. And so, what do you think about the advantage of Greater Philadelphia, especially in terms of the discovery, development, manufacture of cell and gene therapy, and what is the disadvantage of this region? So, yeah, what is your view?
Should I get started?
Me? Yeah, I only see advantage. Well, yeah, the reason being, you guys all know who is the first advocate from this cell gene space. Emily Whitehead, where she got treated is in Philadelphia, right? The Children's Hospital. And, a lot of things was pioneered by Carl Jones' lab with the UPenn. So at that time, then start to incubate a lot of young company from this region. And so is our, company, which is, AppTech, advanced unit, therapy unit was, actually harbored in Navy Yard. I think the whole area, originally we call it is the Cell Valley. Now we should call Cell Gene Valley, But we got the advantage is, we have such a strong academia center together with a very strong, clinical center, with the affiliated companies and also the government support. I think, we only see strong advantage to move this area, and to expand this industry further. But I also welcome, company from New Jersey, come from other, and all join this circle of this excellence. I won't say it's only center of excellence, it's a circle of excellence because it harbors from, investment arm, research arm, and, research, and also there is another thing I really want SAPA to move forward is education, training. We got a lot of talent, needs in this industry. So together with all the efforts from many segments, we use SAPA as a playground or as a baseline to train as many, young scientists, young talents as possible, and connecting the world. So using this as a center or circle of excellence, bring Chinese, bring, U.S., individuals, anyone, who wanted to devote their career into this space and work in this space.
Oh, that's great.
So I think that this is, like I said, I only see advantage.
Okay, great. Yeah, because I mean the career development, mentoring is actually one of the our SAPA's mission really. So that's, we would definitely like to get into that area, develop more talent especially for CGT. Yes. Okay. So and then David.
Yeah, I think I say that in a very direct and blunt way, right? Greater Philadelphia offered the best ecosystem in cell and gene therapy, period. Not only in United States and also in the world. Why I'm saying that, right? When you talk about the ecosystem for the one new modality, there come many different aspects. We need to get academic powerhouse. That's a research. We also have to get a training university, that's a talent. Then also we need an investment, so-called society, which know how to deal the business here. But more importantly, you also have the manufacturer will come over here to actually do the work. There's other geographic location, have some kind of ecosystem. I mentioned those 4 elements for this ecosystem. If I can think about, I don't want to name other place because other place will not be happy. If I think about, they might just have 2 of the 4, 3 of the 4 the thing. And Philly, Greater Philly is the only area having that ecosystem with the best university, with a powerhouse, UPenn, Drexel, to come up with the innovation. They come here to actually start a company, right? At the best university, training the talent, and the good cost of living here. People willing to come here to work. Right, versus the place that used to be called San Francisco. Hard to actually get a thing, right? But more importantly, right, the investment, right, from New York, which is really just across the river, come over here to invest. But the most important one, just like my company here, right, it's a very reasonable location with the best possible talent, with a reasonable cost of good. So with those 4 things all together, this is really, I think, Greater Philadelphia is really the best ecosystem. Again, that's the best part. But on the other hand, right, Everybody know about that. So many companies come here to start up their business here. So I think the short time being is going to be a very strong competition on talent. So the competition over here probably is more fierce, than probably other locations. But it's good because the more competition, the more more talent will be coming here, and more company will. So I think that I call the healthy kind of issue. So it's a good problem to have.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you both.
Thanks.
Okay.